And welcome back. We're still on this special but exclusive episode of The Desk, where we're understanding the effectiveness and the fairness of the judicial systems of our country. Now, before we actually go back to our guest, Amon, I want to just say thank you to all of you who are following the discussion on our social media pages. That is U24 on Facebook, U24 on Instagram, U24 on Twitter, and also you can also continue following the discussion on that is on The Desk. That is The Desk on Facebook, and then at The Desk 6 on Instagram and Twitter. You can also follow me on my Facebook, that is at KISAME SHADRACK. You go and like the page. Then also on Instagram, that is at KISAME SHADRACK, and on Twitter at KISAME SHADRACK. Thank you very much. You can continue the conversation. You can post your comments, post your tweets. We'll be reading them in a short while. Now, Amon, let's get back to now. We have finished with the State Attorney's Office. What happens next?
So what happens next? The file is presumed to be complete. We have now enough evidence on the file to prosecute the case. Okay. And that state attorney is called now is going to be the prosecutor of the case. Now in court. So it will be the lawyer on the side of government.
Oh, on the state. Okay. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now that is a capital offense that we are using.
As an example.
Yeah.
Yes.
We use the murder, and the murder case is the capital offense. According to the laws of Uganda, the capital offenses cannot be tried by magisterial courts, but all matters commence in the magisterial court. Okay,
before you even go there, give us the different, maybe just hint a little bit, the capital offense, then the other offenses. Maybe just
it is capital offense. We have capital offenses and then this misdemeanor.
The misdemeanor.
Yes. These are minor offenses. Then these are capital offenses, as the name suggests. And so they attract higher punishments. This one lower.
Lower punishments. So by higher punishments, you mean death?
On the capital punishments, to begin with, like 7 years and above.
7 years in jail.
Yes, and above.
Wow.
Up to death.
Up to death.
Yes, they can still.
We have death sentence in Uganda.
They can still sentence you to death, but according to this case of Susan Chigula, it was revised. It's no longer mandatory for a judicial officer to sentence you to death.
Okay.
It is now discretionary. So.
Okay, but before it was actually put off the scene, what case would I have done that would lead me to death?
They are specific in the penal code, as I told you.
Okay.
There is a penal code act.
You could give us maybe 2
so
or 3.
Penal code act, we will say, let me use an aggravated environment.
Yes.
If you have sex with a child who is below the age of 12.
So sex with a child below the age of 12?
That's aggravated defilement.
Aggravated defilement.
Aggravated defilement. That means you are supposed to suffer death.
So what defilement do I get unless I thought they would all face the same.
Well, if you have a sex with a child of 17 years.
Okay, yes. It's still defilement. Okay, yes.
But not aggravated.
Oh, it's not aggravated. Okay.
Not aggravated.
Okay.
Now you see the difference.
Yes, I see the difference
but
now.
If now she's still 17, but you infect her with HIV, it's still aggravated. Or if she's disabled
during the act.
No.
After the act.
Physically.
Okay.
Yes, she's physically challenged.
Yes.
So that's still aggravated. Those are circumstances that aggravate
the defilement.
Yes. Let's use an example of robbery. If it is robbery, if you rob someone using a deadly weapon, if you use a gun, if you use a panga, those aggravate the offense. It ceases to be robbery, but becomes aggravated.
Thank you very much for using that example. Now, last week I was seeing a clip that has been making rounds all over social media. I know you guys have been watching it. Where we had 2 guys. They were behind on a border. So, but they did not know there was a camera. I think on one of the fences. So they reached at a point and they killed a guy. So imagine the camera traces these guys. So that's a capital offense. Those ones are just for death.
Because you see, they
used, like, I saw it was a very, very, very bad and nasty act. He removed the helmet and he Yes.
I saw the clip and they used something. It was like a hammer, something
Like a hammer? It was.
Yes.
It was so like a claw hammer actually.
It was
yes.
really very absurd.
Yes.
So in that case, that was using a deadly weapon, and instead and they went on and killed the person. So now when they are taken to the courts of law, they will be charged with two offenses.
Two offenses.
That's aggravated robbery and murder.
Wow.
And both offenses attract death as a
let me give you a tricky question. Imagine you were the lawyer for these guys. Would you plead for justice and man, they are paying you?
Well, I think sometimes personally, I'm not passionate to
defending such people. But let's imagine, let's put away your feelings. Let's say it's another lawyer.
It's not about the feeling, because you see, when you come to my office, you ought to tell me
the truth. What
really happened. And as I'm imagining you're going to come and tell me, you know what, we finished the guy using the hammer, but we want to get out of this. That's not what we do.
That's not what lawyers should actually do.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what a lawyer should do. Their law, our law,
yes,
is to ensure that there is justice. In other words, it should be proved that it's you who did the offense. It should be proved that you intended to do the offense, and it should be proved that you actually did the offense.
Wow.
So all those ingredients should be proved. Because I will give you another scenario. You find that someone has died, but I had no intention of killing the person. It was an accident, for instance.
Okay.
It was an accident, someone died.
Okay.
The two cannot be charged the same or sentenced to the same punishment. So sometimes that's why you need the lawyers even when you know you did the offense. So that all these procedures are followed and the justice is administered according to the law.
Okay.
According to the law. But sometimes, of course, we have challenges.
Okay, but then those procedures, I think, are the ones that really spice up the aspect of fairness.
Yes, but primarily, as I told you, judiciary and the police, they have a big role to play in administration of justice and fairness. Judiciary and the police. Of course, now there are other players that we have to look at. We have prison services.
The prison services.
Because after conviction, now state attorney, let's say, has proved that
yes, we actually are at that point.
Competent court. Because now, since it was a murder, the magistrate court will have to indict you to high court.
Okay.
So it is a high court that is mandated to try an offense that attracts life sentence or death.
Okay, before we go there, could you just maybe in a nutshell describe for us what the difference between the high court and the magistrate's court?
Maybe the whole judicial high level.
Yes.
We have the highest court, that is the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Then from Supreme Court we have Court of Appeal.
Okay.
The second, the second highest court. From Court of Appeal, a Court of Appeal can still constitute a constitutional court.
Okay.
In case there is any matter that has to do with interpretation of the law, then Court of Appeal will sit as constitutional court.
Okay.
Now, what makes a difference? Court of Appeal, at the Court of Appeal, matter can be heard by one judge, can be heard by 3 judges, can be heard by 5.
At the Court of Appeal?
At the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
But when it is sitting as a constitutional court, they have to be 7.
7 judges?
They have to be 7 or 5.
Wow.
Depending on the matter and its complexity. But okay. Especially, this is always on the interpretation of the Constitution. Yes, when there is a matter to be interpreted, sometimes they have to be referred to the Constitution. This comes in when you find that there is somehow an inconsistency. Someone interprets this way, another one can interpret this way.
Okay, but when we have a couple,
yes.
Yeah, it gives...
they want the Supreme Court to give now the true meaning. What was the intention of the Parliament? Parliament came up with this kind of law.
Yes.
What did it mean?
Yes.
So Constitutional Court.
Constitutional Court, yes.
Constitutional Court sits and
analyzes, it scrutinizes.
Yes. Okay. Of course, there are some procedures they use also to interpret some of these acts of the.
There are set of standards that are set for the analyzing of these
Yes, we call them rules of interpretation.
Rules of interpretation. Okay.
Then from that one we have High Court. High Court, it has limited jurisdiction, unlimited. Unlimited jurisdiction, that means it can try any matter. It is not limited by anything.
Okay.
Now, these other courts I'm talking about, they have limited jurisdictions.
Okay.
It's only High Court that has unlimited jurisdiction. It means it can try any matter of any nature. That's why we have now different divisions. We have commercial division, we have civil division, we have family division.
Okay.
Now, family division looks at family matters. Civil division looks at all matters that are of civil nature.
Okay.
Civil nature, that means now we have a contract with me, let's say with you, U24.
Yes.
Maybe to do for them legal services.
Legal services, yes.
Along the way, maybe they have not paid me.
Yes.
Or I have not done my work as a lawyer.
Yes.
You don't take me to police. You go direct to court.
Yes. We don't take you to police.
Yeah, because this was an understanding, and maybe I've just breached the contract. You don't go to police on this in this case.
Okay.
This case you go direct to court.
Okay.
Of course, using a lawyer, because there are some documents you have to draft. You have to tell the court what exactly happened.
Yes.
We call it a cause of action. You must have a cause of action for you to take someone to court. There must be a cause of action. This cause of action must be from a legal relationship.
Okay.
That we had a contract to do this and this and this, but now time has elapsed and someone has done nothing.
All right.
I'm aggrieved. So you need what? Justice.
Justice. Okay. So, Amon, we're going to be going for a short break, but when we come back in our last segment, you'll maybe enlighten us at what point does someone appeal. After the break, you'll enlighten us and wrap it up at that point. Okay, now do not go away. We are still understanding the effectiveness and fairness of the judicial systems of our country. It is still the desk. Don't go away.